Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Dion's Daily Dose for 18th. So I took a little break. I was planning on being back on, but you may not know, my little buddy PBK, my black cat that hung out on the back of my chair, he passed away. So it kind of threw me for a loop. It was very unexpected. I'm not going to dwell a lot on that. I just wanted to let you know that's part of the reason why I took an unexpected break. There's a lot going on. I'm going to start by saying my last video I talked about wishing that there was an app or some kind of list or something for companies and where their money goes. The good news is it exists. It's out there. Shout out to Sean, who messaged me and was like, "Hey man, check this out. I'm gonna show you. It's called Goods Unite Us, and there is an app that you can download. The app is not perfect. It has a couple of little issues. It'll occasionally crash and whatnot. But let me show you. We're gonna pick Google, right? You go here, you put a brand in. Now on your phone, it's all laid out for you, but let's put Google in there. And here's what it does. It shows you, also known as Alphabet, right? It shows you the percentage of senior employees and or company. Obviously, 75% Democrat, 25% Republican. 11%, this is the donation breakdown. This is what I like. The company itself, 11% is from Google itself. 89% of the donations that they're reviewing, which combined contribution, very high. 89% comes from senior employees. The top 5 that they donated to, well, what do we have here? Bernie Sanders, Beto, Doug Jones, Hillary Clinton, Jackie Rosen. I don't know who Jackie Rosen is, but it's irrelevant. This is just an example. Go back. Let's look at Microsoft. The biggest names, it's all right here. And there's, like I said, there's an app. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Let's go back one. Try this again. It worked earlier. Okay. Or not. It worked on the app. I will tell you that it's just like the app. Apparently, the website has some issues too, but let's look at Chick-fil-A. As you can see, 19% Democrat, 81% Republican. If you look at the company itself, Chick-fil-A donated nothing. Senior employees, 100%. That's where all the money comes from. And combined contribution, minimal. Joe Arpaio, Sheriff Joe, Josh Well, not sure who that is, Judson Hill, Ryan Sawyers, Tony Minetti. That is just a quick example. It is goodsuniteus.com. Goodsuniteus.com. And there is an app on the App Store or Google. I'll drop that in there for you. Boom. There you go. It's actually pretty cool. Like I said, I installed the app, and I've been going through it and looking at major companies that I might be considering a purchase from, even smaller companies that I may be considering spending my money with. How does down? Where is my money going? Says here, corporations earn profits off of your everyday purchases, and some of those profits are then donated to politicians and causes you might not agree with. In fact, the average consumer funds politicians and PACs about 3 times more through their purchasing choices than through direct political contributions. Direct political contribution, indirect contributions from purchasing, right? The U.S. Supreme Court has said that corporations have a constitutional right to political speech. We want everyone to hear what they're saying. Goods Unitas has spent thousands of hours vetting companies' political expenditures in federal elections. We'll tell you what we know about the donations made by the organization and its senior employees, along with each company's exclusive campaign finance reform score. Now, that's a whole thing. I'm going to tell you that I really don't pay too much attention to that personally. That's just how much they've donated. Candidates that claim to be for election reform, Beto O'Rourke, for example, claimed that he was, all in for campaign finance reform, AOC, stuff like that. Unfortunately, it's usually the more progressive politicians that are for campaign finance reform. Not always, not exclusively. Personally, I'd love to see campaign finance just completely overhauled, but it is what it is. But it give a very good idea, at least to me, when I look at these companies and who they're donating to. Do I want my money used for that? Now, if it's a minimal contribution, whatever. But if these companies, especially the company themselves, are donating large amounts of money to politicians that I vehemently disagree with, that's something that maybe I need to come to terms with. Do I want to continue spending my money with this company? Or do I want to take my money elsewhere? Something for you to consider as well. Steezy says, "Did you see Andrew Yang running for mayor of New York City?" No, but I think that'd be a good place for him. I think he could. There's no way he could do a worse job than the current inhabitant of the office. Am I right? I know I look kind of rough today. I didn't spend a lot of time getting ready. We had some stuff that we had to get done, and I'm still playing with this light. My son Donovan was messing with it a little bit, so my settings are a little different, but I'm gonna have to play with it. I wanted to get on here and tell you about that. There are a lot of things going on right now. I wanna show you something that is just outright disturbing that I saw. Let me get to it. Let's see here. Here it is. Check this out. This is absolutely mind-blowing. You can't make this stuff up. Here we go. And I'm still suspended on Twitter because God forbid I vote for the president. But RT says Germany confirms to RT it's building a camp for COVID dissidents. It's deemed it necessary to threaten quarantine violators with a stint in COVID jail. The facility will be based in Dresden. Yes, Germany is building a camp for COVID dissidents. Germany is getting proper authoritarian when it comes to policing its quarantine. It's deemed it necessary to threaten violators with a stint in COVID jail. It's in Dresden. A spokesperson said access to the pandemic hotel pictured here won't be that easy. You need to get a warning and a fine first. It'll be up to a court to decide if you qualify for a stay. We don't assume there will be that many. That there will be very many, but in the event that a court decides that way, there will be a facility to accommodate them, said the spokesperson. How convenient. Uh-oh. Is it not working? Hold on a second. Why did it, oh, there we go. That was odd. All right. Go back to here. Boom. Okay. So, listen. In case you are not paying attention, there's a phrase that was well known in Germany during the World War II era. It's for your safety. There's the German version of that, obviously. And what it did was it allowed the authoritarian government to do whatever it wanted, as long as it was for your safety, right? It's for your safety. Don't worry about it. It's for your safety. Anyone who's been paying attention can see what's going on. Germany, to me, it's a little surprising that Germany is one of the first to actually make these. I talked before about with what's going on right now, it's only a matter of time before they start saying, oh, you don't want to wear a mask. Oh, you don't want to comply. You don't want to comply. Well, then we'll just send you to a place for those who don't comply. And Germany is apparently fully on board. Bill Norris says there once was an app called Buy Right that did the same thing. It's no longer in the App Store. Yeah, I hadn't heard about Buy Right, but Goods Unite Us looks like it's pretty interesting. As I said, there's a few issues with it. It isn't perfect, but it'll give you a good idea. If you don't want the app, go to the website, look up the company that you're planning on spending money at, and see where that money is going to be spent. If you disagree, for example, right? I don't want my money going to Beto O'Rourke at all. I can't stand the guy. So any company that feels that Beto is a good herald for the people, I'm not with. Matt says, I heard Merkel step down. That's what I heard. I heard there's a transition. There's a lot going on with that. As a matter of fact, let me get something here, and I'll share with you all the crazy things that I saw. Apparently the entire Netherlands government, which the cabinet, the president and his cabinet have resigned. Angela Merkel stepping down. The Estonia prime minister is missing. These are all what I've heard. And the Italian government has collapsed. All of these are just within the last few days. Let's take a look here at what's going on with Angela Merkel. Merkel resign. Let's see here. Yeah. Looks like Laschet declared new leader. Here, let me share this with you here. Boom. Head of Germany's biggest state takes helm of Angela Merkel's party. Laschet. Blah, 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 blah. So let's see here. We've got Netherlands. There it is. Oh, yeah. The Dutch government resigns after a benefit scandal. It's apparently over a child welfare fraud scandal. Estonia prime minister missing. You guys see, yeah. Estonia's prime minister resigned Wednesday over a corruption scandal involving a key official of his center party. And apparently the entire government collapsed. This is all what's going on just in the last... there it is. Hold on. Italy government collapse. On verge of collapse. Announced the resignation of Ivy's two ministers, effectively triggering the collapse of Conte's government. These are all, again, just within the last few days. It's Jack says, our own Attorney General in Indiana has stated in court, Indiana has the right to defend its citizens on its highways regarding seatbelt law. In regards to the seatbelt law, I always felt that was a dangerous beginning. I'm right there with you, Jack. Look, when they started the whole push for seatbelt laws, it had everything to do with insurance companies and not with us. If I choose to not wear a seatbelt, that is my choice, right? Nowadays, especially with how they have our cars fully set up with tons of tons of technology and being able to tell whether the seatbelt's connected and all that would influence your insurance rates and hey, whatever. But unfortunately, every single thing that is done in the name of public health, protection, things like that, that is protected, right? It is a dangerous, dangerous precedent. And we are seeing the extension of that precedent, the results of allowing our government to decide what is best for our health. I am not a fan. Here's the thing. If given the option, I generally wear a seatbelt. Even there was a time when I'm like, I'm not wearing it. I don't care. Give me a ticket. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate that. Donovan wants me to grow a manly epic beard, so I've been working on that for him. It's a process. Like I said, I didn't get to shaving today. Normally I shave under here and here, but it grew in since I trimmed it last night, but it grows so fast. It's just so hard to keep up with. And I'm right there with you, man. Motorcycles are cool. That's the thing. I find it interesting that they can force seatbelts in cars, but when it comes to motorcycles, and they were planning on passing the helmet law, everybody's like, no, that's too far. Again, it's your choice, right? I am all for freedom of personal choice. So there's some vicious rumors floating around right now regarding the emergency broadcast system. I've seen a couple of these, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me get to here. I had it set up earlier, and then unfortunately I messed up, so it's not on here anymore. Give me just a moment, and you'll be able to see it. There's apparently people that may have been paying attention may have seen that Trump signed an executive order regarding the emergency broadcasting system, and also pointed out to everyone remotely paying attention that there are certain rules and regulations when it comes to the emergency broadcasting system, some many laws, and that people should pay attention. Yeah, good job. Jack says we did have a helmet law. It was repealed a few years later. Yeah. And I do support AV. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of lobbyists either, Matt. So let me share this with you and show you. Now, I have no way of verifying this, but this is a link that someone sent me, a picture, and it says, I work at a mid-sized TV station. We just had a visit from the FCC along with two people with badges. I didn't get close enough to see what agency they were with. We've been told to prepare for all of our programming to be preempted from 8 a.m. Wednesday for up to 72 hours. They told my boss he can be held criminally liable if he doesn't allow their feed to air. He was almost in tears, saying, I've never seen anything like this after 30 years in this business. They scared the S out of him and the district manager. If this happened, I can absolutely understand how someone would be very upset, especially if it's something that you are not used to. If it is something you are not prepared for. But again, there's a lot that's out there that we're be ready. We may have this, we may have that. I'm going to say this. If you believe that 25,000 National Guard troops are required in Washington, D.C. for someone who allegedly won as the most popular presidential election in history, talking about Biden, if you won, if you are truly the most popular candidate in history, then why would you need 25,000 National Guard troops? If you're calling out the National Guard to defend an inauguration, then obviously you're afraid the people don't believe that inauguration is real or should be happening. That's all I'm saying. We're starting. Since when do we have our military, whether it's National Guard, whether it's the Army, Navy, whatever, since when do we have to worry about things like this actually coming under fire? And I'm going to tell you, it didn't start with the Capitol riot. That was not the beginning. It goes back much further than that. But I'll tell you, America today is a very different place than even when I was a kid. I'll do a different show on this because it's kind of long, but range kids and people calling the cops on parents because they let their kids go outside and wander the neighborhood, like that was just normal. Like we set up forts in the woods and we'd come in when it was dark. It's mind-blowing that people want the government to have this much control over our lives, over every aspect of our daily lives. It's insane. I don't know about you, but we have come to a turning point in this country. We have come to a turning point where if we continue to support the status quo, nothing's going to change. And I'm not saying grab a rifle and run down to the Capitol. That's not going to solve anything. It's not. But what we do have to do is we have to start communicating directly with each other. We have to start having these real conversations about what if this happens? What if that happens? What are we going to do about it? Because obviously the politicians are not fixing it. They have had ample opportunity and many of them are running scared. They just refuse to accept the reality that they are not doing what the people want. It's just that simple. We're going to be making some changes to the channel. I'm going to be taking all of the content that is going out, and I'm going to be consolidating in it, consolidating everything. I'd like to ask you, I'm going to change the board here because I'd like to ask you to follow Dion's Daily Dose on Facebook. Later on, we'll have a rebranding, but right now, because it's not daily. I went from daily. It was one thing when I was running for office. I don't know if there's that many people that want to hear what I have to say every single day, but most nights I'm gonna try to do it most nights. We may even set up some pre-recorded ones to put out there, but I have a sneaking suspicion, given what happened with Twitter, that my additional campaign Facebooks are going to have some issues, just like Twitter did. Dion's Daily Dose, if you could follow that, I'd appreciate it, at Dion's Daily Dose on Facebook. Even my Twitter for that one is still current. I'm going to try to get Periscope set up on it. It won't work with my other ones because they're suspended. Dion's Daily Dose doesn't have anything political in the hashtags or anything on it. So we're going to try that and see if we can at least stay alive on Twitter that way. Just for this, I don't post anything. I don't share anything. I don't retweet anything even, really. Haven't for a long time. Twitter. YouTube for now, we're still doing okay, and Facebook for now, but it's going to change. For the best and most up-to-date information, go to my website, dionbergeron.com, and I'll try to keep everyone apprised there as to the state of what. And yeah, Periscope. Listen, if anyone knows of, here's I use StreamYard, right, for my streaming, and it allows me to stream to various platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. What I'm looking for, Periscope is giving me all kinds of issues now, but ultimately what I'd like to do is I'd like to stream to my site, or at least be able to embed a, because I can stream to something as long as it's using a RPA feed, something like that. I used to know it, but then I just went to Facebook and everything. RPA, RPH feed, something like that. If you know what I'm talking about and know how to set that up, let me know. I'm willing to do my research on it. I'm not asking you to do everything, but if you could point me in the right direction of something that I can set up remotely so that I can stream directly to my site, that would be helpful. But that's where we're at. I do have a lot of content coming up. Just trying to get it organized. There's some stuff that I think is going to be very, very interesting very, very soon, especially if this emergency broadcasting thing is real. My wife and I have had multiple discussions about whether or not anything is going to happen, what's going to happen. I will say this, everything else aside, have Foxhole. I will definitely check it out, Bill says. He said this Periscope will censor. Well, check out Foxhole. I will definitely check out Foxhole. I'm not going to pretend to know exactly what's going to happen, but I will say this. If you truly believe that we are fighting against the powers of darkness, and I believe that, then do you think that Donald Trump is going to leave the White House without trying and doing absolutely everything he can to wake up as many people as possible? Just ask yourself that. There's a reason that the emergency broadcasting system exists. There is a reason that a couple of years ago, Trump set up presidential alerts via the emergency broadcasting system. There is a reason that all of these things were done, and there is a reason that he sent out a notice reminding everyone of the law when it comes to the emergency broadcasting system. Take that for what it is, leave it for what it's not, and ladies and gentlemen, I will see you again very soon. Fair enough, Bill. To each their own, man. It's America. Enjoy what you want. If nothing else, it's a way to celebrate the new year, man. I appreciate you joining me. Like I said, we're gonna have some interesting things coming up, and we're gonna have a lot of content because there's craziness out there right now. Absolutely mind-boggling, the level of corruption, the sheer amount of craziness that exists. We're gonna start talking about this legislative session coming up. Bill says you are very hood. Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that, though, is there? I did not grow up rich. I grew up in very, very poor areas of various cities, including Elkhart and Mobile, Alabama. So maybe that's why I have, home of Louisiana, Mobile, Alabama, and then up here. Let's see. Okay, and here's the thing, Bill. That is absolutely your opinion. I don't have a problem with what he said. Especially given that it was a locker room conversation a long time ago that was secretly recorded, but I know you don't care about that. He isn't racist. If you believe he's racist, then you have not been paying attention. Or you've been paying attention to what they want you to pay attention to. Look up what he actually said versus what they reported he said. And maybe, just maybe, you might be able to realize the truth. I doubt it, but maybe. And Bill nails it. Liberals are leaving their states once they have destroyed them and bringing their failed policies to red states. And that's absolutely true. There's actually a sign on the Indiana border that says, welcome to Indiana. I forget the exact wording, but essentially, welcome to Indiana. Don't bring the policies that you fled with you. And unfortunately, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing in many places, Texas being a perfect example, as Steezy says. Texas was very close this election. Are we going to see these places that these people are moving to begin to enact the same failed policies? And I say, yeah, unless we do something, unless we seriously get in front of this, because look at Indiana. I'm just going to say it. We have many, many people in office in this state who claim to be diehard Republicans, who claim to be constitutional Republicans. And when it comes time to vote, they vote with the swamp. So that's where we're at. Have a good day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully the day after. Kids are going back to school tomorrow, so that should be interesting. LaPorte is going in person. Michigan City is still online. Still. Perhaps, yeah, and that was exactly it, Bill. So, Bill Norris, that is. Bill Casey, you need a shave quick. What's a fash tea? And I don't need anything. I certainly don't need to shave if I don't choose to shave, Bill. Because here's the problem. You believe you can impose your will upon others. Come make me shave, homie. Try that. You have a good day. I'll see you all later. God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers Sean Holgram and Michael Beebe. Copyright 2021. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.